Hi, this is Arthur Haines, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about a plant called anneda. Anneda is a species that grows here in North America, and the name is derived from several Algonquin-speaking languages. Now you may be asking yourself, why am I speaking to you from inside of what appears to be a snow cave? And in fact, that's exactly what this is. This is a type of snow shelter called a quinzee, a name that derives from the Athabascan language of the northwestern North America. A quinzee is another type of snow shelter, somewhat similar to an igloo in that it's made out of snow, and its primary purpose is to protect its inhabitants from the extreme temperatures and wind that is found outside of the shelter. The quinzee, although not quite as permanent as an igloo in terms of being able to stand for an entire season, does have the advantage of not needing quite as specialized a type of snow for its construction, whereas igloos really work best with wind-packed snow that can be cut in slabs or blocks to be built. A quinzee can be created from many types of snow if time is available, because it can be piled up and then carved out on the inside. This particular quinzee that I'm in today also has a fat lamp that you see here, and this is modeled slightly after a lamp that was called a kudlik of the northern cultures of this continent, where they would use these lamps for both cooking and heating. This particular one, rather than being utilizing the fat of marine mammals as its source, is using the fat of land mammals like white-tailed deer and moose. This particular one is white-tailed deer as its source of fuel, and it also has a milkweed wick that you see that is drawing the fat up into the fibers so that it can burn. And these were used not only to slightly raise the temperature of the interior shelters, but also to cook and to heat water, particularly melting snow in stone pots. Now the reason that I'm in this quinzee today is simply to get out of the house. Today, many people move from one air-conditioned room to another, or in this particular season in this part of the world, moving from one heated room to another. And while there are laws that do protect, or at least attempt to protect, the quality of the air outside of our homes, there are no laws that protect the quality of the air inside of our home. This has created a situation in which we have very unhealthy air inside of our homes as a result of the cleaners that we use, the paints that we put on the walls, the upholstery, and various furnishings that off-gas numerous volatile chemicals, as well as exposing us to flame retardants and other endocrine disruptors, carcinogens, etc. One of the things to helping people regain their health is convincing them that they need to spend more time outside. Unfortunately, again, as a domesticated species, we are not very tolerant of extremes of temperature anymore. And how we acclimate back to that and learn how to deal with cold and wet and heat is simply spend more time outside doing things. And that's what I'm doing today. The word anneda was probably first brought to or exposed to the English-speaking people around 1536, when Jacques Cartier sailed up the St. Lawrence River and spent a season near what is now present-day Quebec. Now, this plant, anneda, was used to cure the remaining members of his crew and himself of scurvy, which is a very debilitating disease that is the result of vitamin C deficiency. Scurvy has a number of symptoms, some of the most horrible of which are the bruises that result and the loss of collagen, particularly in the gums, which results in teeth loosening and a general loss of periodontal health. Jacques Cartier and his crew were essentially rescued by a particular tree which they drank decoctions of for a period of time. A decoction, of course, being a hot water medicine where the hot water works as a solvent to extract chemicals and vitamins and amino acids and other cofactors from the plant material to bring it into solution so it can be drank. And a decoction also utilizes a period of heating on some source of fuel to keep the water temperature hot so that the water can extract more of these essential components into the fluid. The identity of anneda has long been in question, and many people consider anneda to be the tree of life, what we often call arborvitae in this part of the world, which is a plant called northern white cedar, or Thuja occidentalis. But Jacques Cartier left some documents and his writings where he detailed his winter that was spent locked in the ice of the St. Lawrence River. And one of the things that he mentioned was the circumference of this particular species of tree that was used to cure his crew of scurvy. And he mentioned a circumference of 18 feet. Which works out to a diameter of approximately 6 feet. There are very, very few trees in the northeastern portion of North America that can reach that size. And one of them, however, that can is eastern white pine, or Pinus strobus. And this is probably the real candidate for the tree that was called anneda by the Quebec natives of that time, the Iroquois. Now, eastern white pine is a very easy species of tree to recognize, particularly in the winter. It's one of our evergreen species, meaning that it retains a portion of its leaves through the winter season. And the leaves, like other members of the genus Pinus, which are the pines, they are extremely long and narrow, and many people refer to them as needle-like. Eastern white pine is the only species here in the northeastern United States and adjacent Canada that has leaves arranged in fascicles of 5. Though we have other species of pines that have fascicles of leaves, their leaves are held in 2s or 3s for the other species that are found in this region. Now, as it turns out, eastern white pine serves as a source of several very important vitamins, amino acids, and other phytochemicals that can greatly benefit our health. Of course, ascorbic acid, or the main component of vitamin C, is found in the leaves. Many people have read or know of that, but it is in fact the inner bark that contains higher amounts of ascorbic acid. But the leaves and the inner bark also contain arginine, which is a semi-essential amino acid. Semi-essential meaning that we normally can pull this in through our food, and our bodies can even manufacture it when we're healthy. However, in times of scarcity and in times of sickness, it's best to bring this in through our diet because our body may not be manufacturing it efficiently. Arginine serves as a source of soluble nitrogen with which our body makes nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is used in several ways in our body. For one, it dilates blood vessels, bringing more oxygen and nutrients to poorly perfused parts of our body. As well, nitric oxide is used by macrophages to kill foreign invaders. So that's a very important part of our immune system that keeps us free of infection. Eastern white pine also serves as a source of an antioxidant group called proanthocyanidins, and in fact it's one of the most concentrated sources of this group of antioxidants. These water-soluble polyphenols serve as antioxidants in our body, meaning they defend the interior of our blood vessels, they defend our cells and protect our DNA from free radical damage, which leads to premature aging, cancer, and a number of other chronic diseases.